Vicki Evans.
And I'm Tiegan and Vicki.
And welcome to the Boom Tunes podcast. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to... what month is it?
July.
Woo! To July's episode of Boop Tunes podcast. We're actually together today.
Ooh. First ever.
Aye. And it works because now our recording has the same...
Levels.
Levels, yeah. Levels. And it's on the same microphone as a very special treat, which is an interview with Glitchers. If you don't know who they are, they're a street band that sort of... I like to say they're taking capitalism out of music, which is a very good thing.
Yes.
They're various people. So we'll get onto that later on. And today, well, I've been to see McFly this month. And that's the only concert we're talking about. And then we're just chatting.
As always.
Yes. So McFly actually was one of the best shows this year.
That's
Who would have
good.
thought?
I feel like after the time that you've had recently
Yeah.
with seeing bands as well, you needed a good one.
I needed a good one, and
Trust good old McFly.
that's what I've been thinking. Maybe it's bias, but no, it was good atmosphere. There was a few annoying people around me. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because I don't think they were concert people. They were like on FaceTime through the
Yeah.
opening acts and things. I don't think they are concert people. I think they're just people that like McFly. But to be fair, one of them did nudge me and was like, "Oh, if I'm in your way, just tell me." So I was
We
like,
love consideration.
the ironic thing is he wasn't that tall,
Oh,
but I still ended up with a tall guy in front of me.
tall people should be banned from shows. This includes my other half as well.
I mean, there's taller than Harry.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah. This tall guy was like the worst tall guy yet though, because he was clearly aware of his height, because he was like, I don't know, trying to not dodge his friends, like not block his friends, and he didn't know the songs. He was clearly just there as a boyfriend.
Ugh.
He didn't know the songs. He didn't even try to know the songs or try to get into it. He just stood there. And, you know, I mean, I'm all for going to like shows that you don't know and that.
Yeah.
But at least
Get out
into
of the way.
Get into the atmosphere at least. You know? It's oh, he was the worst tall guy yet. Like, at least the other tall guys actually enjoy the show.
Yeah, and the way
He
just stood like a lemon.
It's miserable. Anyway, yeah, it was really, really good. The openers, let's see who opened for it. There was my friend Matt's friend's band, whose names escaped me. Oh, that's embarrassing. Nope, it's gone. But they were really good.
Yeah.
I'll post something about it on the Instagram. But they were really good. They were like funky, like just good vibes.
Yeah.
And then New Hope Club, that I'm pretty sure used to follow me on my old Twitter, and that's how I know them. They followed me somewhere, and the only thing I can think of is the Twitter that like kicked me off because 7 years later they found out that I was 11 when I started it and kicked me off. But they were good. They were a lot better than I remember. I remembered them to be like your classic, I'm the pretty boy, I love you, I'm the perfect, you know,
Yeah.
ooh woo boy kind of thing. But no, they were really good. They did some covers as well. They did Flowers, and they did the Beatles one. I don't know the name of it. It's the one that goes, she was just 17, you know what I mean.
Controversial. I like it when bands do covers. I don't know if this
I
is because when I was in a band in college we did originals, but obviously we didn't have them a lot, so we had to fill it in with covers. But I really like it. Look at Harry Styles. Did
Yeah.
you see the wet leg thing?
That's quite an old cover.
Well, he it's the last bit of his tour at the minute, and
did
he's
he do it
touring with
again?
Wet Leg.
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time he's actually sung it on stage with them. and people are like, what is he gonna do? Because he's getting, as the tours progressing to the end, he's getting more unhinged. So they're like, what is he gonna do for the last show? He's got to do something. But then there's rumours of him having his next album being teased.
It is. I've seen the tease.
The August thing.
Yeah.
Is it 8th of August?
I think so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, it might not be that, but the music video for Dave
That dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
That was really, really good. Have you
shows
seen it?
how good of a rider he is. You can tell which side of TikTok I'm on at the minute.
I actually wanted to talk about that cover as well. Just to you, I mean, we can talk about it on the podcast, because I think I sent the TikTok to you, but you never watched them.
I'm a terrible friend, don't send me TikToks, I will not watch them.
I just do it out of habit at this point. I'm just like,
Everyone
I know
does.
she won't watch, but...
My sister does as well, she's been sending me some recently, and I just don't watch them, unless the last time you did that, and I had like 200 plus to go through, and I hooked it to the TV.
We should do that again. We should do that
That's
again.
what I'm doing, I'm stockpiling them.
Okay. Next time I get to yours, I'll just not even say hi, just get the telly on.
TikToks now.
I was like, oh yeah, there was one though, and they're talking again about Mitski, how people didn't like her dancing seductively, but they're fine with the singer of Wet Leg.
Of course, yeah, because she started doing the thing, hasn't she, as well?
Yeah, so we call racism.
Yeah, I think it is, because I feel like she is underrated, but also I feel like she's got a bigger following than people realise.
Mitski.
Yeah. I think she's so theatrical, and it's very... She studied at university, fine arts and music and stuff like that, so everything she do is planned. It's all choreographed, and I don't know why people don't like her. It really upsets me. She's a really good artist.
I really enjoyed seeing her.
But then on the flip side, I get why people don't like Wet Leg. They do seem a bit Tory.
Would not like to be in a room with them at all. They just seem like insufferable people.
The lead singer a lesbian?
I have no
I feel like I've seen that somewhere.
I don't really want to give him time of day.
No, I mean, I do enjoy the music, don't get me wrong, because it's very easy, simple listening. But I do get where people are coming from when they say it's Tory. It's very middle to upper class.
They just seem like being weird for the sake of being weird.
Yeah,
and
like it's
that's
a trend.
not my vibe.
Yeah.
It don't seem genuine. And I'm like, nah, I don't vibe with that.
Yeah, I think we've spoken about the Arctic Monkeys thing as well. The awards show that they won over them, and then
just copied the
they
speech.
tried being iconic with it, but then it just didn't work.
No. Anyway, McFly.
Tangents, woo!
First of all, Dougie Pointer.
Oof.
Who gave that man the right to have muscle?
He has aged like fine wine.
He was wearing only dungarees.
Oh my god.
He even said on a TikTok, no underwear. If this flops off,
he's
exposed.
Did you see, I don't know if it were an Instagram post or a story, that he flicked his hair in the same way as how it used to be, or he's cut his hair or something, and he does not look like he has aged one day.
He did it. He did it to like see how it looked.
Yeah.
Oh,
what a man.
It was like, they did all like the classics. They did Lies. They did Transylvania.
Yeah.
Another little tangent there. The little pop up at Pizza Express. I laughed at Matt because he really wants to see Broccoli live. I've seen Broccoli live.
Yeah.
They did it at the Pizza Express. 2 TikToks later, they're doing Too Close for Comfort, and I'm like, I want to see Too Close for Comfort. Back to Leeds. Danny kept saying that Bruce Springsteen was his dad. Tom had to take his ring off, and he was like, if I forget my ring, you have to yell at me or my marriage is done. Harry was on the drums, so he did talk a bit, but there was no like big moment.
He's the quieter one, isn't he?
They Stargirl, they set some Glow Sticks Off.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they're that fan that passed away.
Yeah,
Apologies, I don't know her name. I'll say like Kelsey or something, or Kaylee. Begins with a K, I'm sure. But yeah, through Stargirl, her family was there, and through Stargirl they were waving them around.
Aww.
It was very sweet. And then 5 Colours in the Hair, they stopped it, and they were like, "What does your sign say?" And it was 2 kids, like I say, like 13 or 14 or something.
Yeah.
And it said, "Let us play with you." And these kids got on, did 5 Colours in their hair. Incredible.
Yeah. I love bands that do that. I feel like Green Day do it quite often. The set that we went... popcorn in.
Sorry, we have distractions of guinea pigs and somewhere a cat.
Every show they'd do it, they'd bring 2 or 3 people up on stage, they'd give them a guitar and send them off, and it's signed everything. And it not forced but choreographed, like they did it every show. But even so, to be given an opportunity to do that is, I think it's good. Even if they do it every show, it's still that connection with the crowd, because if there's no fans, there's no band at the end of the day. So I really like it when bands do that. Even small interactions, like I've seen a lot. I'm on the Bad Omens hype at the minute, of course I am.
That's another band that's just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, I do really like them. I will say sometimes I'm a bit embarrassed to say that I've been introduced to a band through TikTok, but I feel also...
I don't think it matters how you find a band.
I feel like I'm humble enough to know that I'm not going to be at a concert.
Yeah.
Like, I am going to see them next year, but I'm not going to be a dick at concert.
No.
Like, some people are. But they, like, people have put signs on, like, oh, throw us a stick, or can I have a pick, or... like I really like you or whatever, and there's so many interactions where he's spoken to the people with signs, and I get signs can be annoying. The Harry Styles is another one as well that I've seen that interacts with them a lot. Like if you're stood behind them and they're holding a big cardboard sign up, I get it can be annoying, but it still is really fun when it's stupid signs calling Harry Styles and he interacts with that, and I think it makes the show. It's the personality of it and interacting rather than just go on, play songs, come off.
That's what I like. It makes it more personal.
Yeah, like every show's different rather than go, play a set, come back.
Back to Leeds.
We'll say this another 5 times before we get to the end, so...
I've not got that much more to say, to be fair. Where was we? Let's see. Harry... these kids, right. One of them, the guy, the kid that played the drums, is in a band. I don't know if they said the name. I can't remember if they did. He was incredible. You would have thought he'd been playing like 10 years.
Jeez.
Don't get me wrong, the guy that played the guitar, still good. But the drums blew me up. Maybe it's because I was a drummer.
Yeah, for a kid as well.
Yeah. 14 as well. I mean, that's the age I was when I started learning. And to be playing like that, he's going far.
Yeah.
To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if McFly picked them up as a baby band, because McFly like picking up baby bands. They do. So expect them for the next, well, not the next tour, because that's this year, but
the tour after.
I'm going to see that tour twice. My Uncle Steve's trying to get me to go to his.
I think I remember you saying,
I just need to convince Matt.
Yeah. No.
Because it's like free accommodation. And we just have to get ourselves there. Exactly. Even my mum's thinking of taking it up.
Yeah, I really want tickets. I'm going to look into getting some. Harry's a bigger fan of the McFly than I thought he would be.
Is it?
Yeah, because obviously we grew up on them, and he knows the big hits and stuff, but I showed him, is it the Wonderland album? I always call it the Ultraviolet album, but it's not.
Wonderland.
That's one of the songs that I like from the album. And he's like, whoa, this is so good. Like, this is not what I expected from them at all. And he actually really likes them, so...
I would have loved to see you and Harry there.
Yeah.
Because it was great, because I had Matt and Chloe there. I had boyfriend Matt and friend Matt. And then my friend Sam from college and one of his friends. So it was like... from college, from uni even. And it was just great. And it would have been great to have
it's a good vibe. But
everyone from each era of my life. Yeah. It would have been cool. I suppose that's happening next week, though.
Yeah.
Super secret. Well, by the time this goes out, it'll have
happened.
So, context, I'm throwing a surprise party for boyfriend Matt, or fiancé Matt. Hopefully he's not heard that. He'll be plugged in, reading outside. Friend Matt nearly gave it away.
Oh, I think I remember you saying.
I knew if anyone gives it away, it would
be friend Matt.
But he was like, I'm seeing you twice this month. And Matt was like, what? And I was like, stop. In the middle of Mackie's. Well, no, good night. Really good night.
Good.
Although we got trapped behind these ladies that kept like stopping and starting, like, you know, on that parade out that you do.
Yeah.
You know, when you're like being herded like cattle. Kettle's the right word.
Cattle.
I was gonna say kettle then, wasn't I?
Kettle, like kettles.
Kettle. Yeah. I'm worried now, just for the surprise. But yeah, she kept farting and then stopping and starting and stopping and farting and. Oh, guess how much parking cost us as well? 8 hours in the centre of Leeds. Have a guess.
At least 20 quid. Is it more?
30.
Oh my god. I paid 30 when we went to Slam Dunk, but that was because we parked in a service station and I paid for extra hours because I didn't know how long we'd be, and that was a full day thing, but...
Well, it was right by one that would have cost us like 3 quid.
Was it a weekend?
No, it was Thursday.
Oh god. What?
I know.
Oh. Again, capitalism.
Leeds.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. Gonna start chatting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna start chatting.
As if we haven't been already.
Right, so the first on the agenda, we were gonna talk about concerts that would be crazy if band names were literal. Neither of us have prepared anything. Top of your head, what comes to mind?
Falling in Reverse?
That's the one at top of my head.
Yeah,
because it just feel like a trampoline, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Fallout Boy? No boys allowed. Go away.
It's just boys falling out.
Yeah. Starting fights.
Papa Roach, it's just a
cockroaches.
roach making love.
Ghost.
Ooh.
We are unhinged, guys.
Maybe it's best we don't do this in person.
I forget every band I've ever listened to now.
McFly should just be a Scottish fly.
Yeah. And Shikari is an interesting one because Shikari is, if I remember right, I think it's Indian or another language for like warrior. So like enter warrior.
Ooh.
That would be interesting. Green Day just be sent paddies. Paddies.
Paddies. D.
I work with an Irish lady, I should know this.
One Direction would just be like a Q.
Yes, very British.
Let's see, what other bands is there? Like I said, I found a TikTok that was like full of great ones. Nickelback. It's just
lots of pennies
on someone's back.
Yeah. Steal. Yeah. Get them rich.
Let's see. The Vamps. Ooh, that would be a saucy show.
That would be the Cure-esque vampire ghoulish.
And the Cure would just be a doctor.
The opposite of COVID. Go here if you're ill. Cured.
The Smiths would just be a bunch of blacksmiths.
Yeah.
This is like really funny to us, but I bet listening to it would be like really boring.
Yeah, like what are they talking about? Let's do a cheat. Let's do a cheat. Bands. Bands. Okay.
Arctic Monkeys, Snowy Monkeys.
Yeah. Funny story, when we met them, my cousin was with us, and my cousin for context, is very quiet. I've grown up with him maybe saying 5 words to each other his entire lives. He's come out of his shell a lot recently. He was in the military and stuff. And when we met Arctic Monkeys, bearing in mind we'd not really spoken whilst we were waiting to meet them, he said to Alex Turner, "I really like your band, the Chili Chimpanzees." And it was the funniest thing. And I really cannot get over it. It is the funniest thing that's ever happened. Beastie Boys.
Smashing Pumpkins.
That would be fun. That would be a fun
would.
concert. The Beatles. Don't go if you're scared of bugs.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not. The Birthday Party is a band, apparently.
Oh.
That would be a great one.
That's next week's concert.
Blur.
It'd just be like underwater, wouldn't it?
Yeah, can't see anything. I feel like if you went
It'd just be a blur.
If you went to a Blur concert when there was very, very big, it would be a Blur anyway, because 90% of them was on drugs. So that's very on brand. Let's have a look. These are all
Black Veil
like
Brides is just a goth wedding.
Yeah. These are all like singular artists. Like David Bowie, that's not. The Doors. Goodbye.
Oh god. What's some other like little thing that we thought about talking about bad songs for funerals.
Yeah.
Inspired by, was it the Sad Girls Club?
Yeah, I think so.
There's another like concert related one, wasn't there? I don't know.
The Kinks would be a good
Ooh.
a good time.
Who would your dream lineup be?
Just a concert or a festival?
Concert.
Concert.
Because festivals you could just go on and on, there's quite a big lineup.
How many support acts are we saying?
2.
2. This is very difficult for someone with such a weird taste in genres. I had this conversation in the car with Harry this morning, like the top 10 bands, and it was so difficult because some was knocked out, and it started as top 5, but then I was like, oh no, it needs to be top 10 because I like a lot more bands. Ones we have seen I would like to see are either, okay.
Just dreamline.
Enter Shikari, definitely.
Can Be Dead.
Okay. Can Be Dead. That's fine. Enter Shikari has to be there. Enter Shikari is very similar to Muse in that even if you're not a big fan, I feel like you've got to like them to some extent because they can be quite shouty. But you don't have to be a massive fan of them to enjoy the shows. The shows that they put on, the visuals at Slam Dunk were amazing. There were a bit where there was just like it was like a block, and they'd projected on it, and he'd gone into the top of it. And then the projection was like he was going in like a vat of water and he was floating, and he obviously wasn't actually in it. But just the visuals are so good. So Shikari, definitely. This is so difficult. It's like you've got to match the vibe as well.
I mean, you don't have to. You can have one of those really random lineups.
I'm going to have to say Harry Styles as well. I'm on the hype with him at the minute, and when we saw him, I had listened to some of the songs, but I went as a newish fan. And as much as I love going to see like comfort artists like Enter Shikari, like Muse, people who I've seen multiple times, I also like going into concerts not knowing any of the songs, not knowing the band, not knowing what to expect, because I find that I have a better time. But then at the same time, it's sort of like, if I knew more songs, I could have enjoyed it a little bit more. But I really enjoyed the Harry Styles gig, minus the waiting and stuff like that. It was very exciting and hyper, but then there were bits where you could just relax and you're like, wow, this is a good time, this is very chill. It was just, overall it was really good, and I'd probably put him up there as well. Third one, controversially, I'm not going to say Arctic Monkeys. I'm not going to put them in the lineup for reasons we've spoken about before, in that they're a good artist. I love them. They're up there in the top 10, if not the top 5. But concert-wise, I get why people wouldn't want to go and see them again. They are quite boring. They don't interact with the crowd a lot, and I think I said the last episode, the like contradictions between Alex on stage with Arctic Monkeys and Alex on stage with the Last Shadow Puppets. It's a little disappointing. I know they've got a certain vibe and a certain artistic motive, but also you can interact with the crowd a bit more. You can seem like you're enjoying performing. Yeah. I think that's the problem. It seems like he's just there for the sake of being there. He's not enjoying it. So I wouldn't put them. And actually, that's just reminded me of a really good band that I've seen multiple times that I am going to put on as well. 1975. We've spoken about them a lot. I feel like at the minute I am listening to heavier stuff, but the more I think about the bands I actually like and would put in that top 10 if I could only listen to 10 bands for the rest of my life, it would lean towards bands like Arctic Monkeys, 1975. Obviously, like Bad Omens, Bring Me the Horizon, all the old like emo-y bands are on there as well. Green Day's really nostalgic for me, but I would have to pick 1975. We can all agree that Matty Healy is a bit of a I don't deny that. Even as a fan, he is a bit of a but again, the concerts they put on, even this leg of sort of like touring that they've done this year, it's different in that there's no box. The box is very significant for them for whatever reason. But even the more artistic, like eating the meat stuff, it's weird, but it's an enjoyable concert, even despite the artistic stuff and theatrics that they put into it. Like, everything that he's done this leg of touring is for a reason. It's got a meaning behind it. Like, the toxic masculinity thing, the feeling like you've got to put on a show. At a show is very meta, it's very self-aware. But I always enjoy their shows. I really do. And I feel like that would be a solid lineup. Despite me saying that I'm an alternative music listener, 2 of them are very poppy. So take from that what you will.
I mean, I call myself an emo. A lot of people call myself an emo. But I like McFly.
One Direction as well.
Niall Horan, yeah.
It is what it is. I feel like it's not appropriate to just say you listen to one type of music anymore. Like, I went through a massive Rammstein phase at the beginning of the year, and they were all I listened to, and then the next band that I listened to was Harry Styles for months. Like, it's not a conforming thing. You can listen to whoever you want to listen, and I grew up on Clubland, right?
You did.
And I turned out to be a massive emo, so how that happened, who knows? It's you. It's your fault. It's your fault.
Me.
It's your fault. It's not a bad thing.
Why do I always get the blame?
But no, I like my sense of music. I feel like I'm very easy in that I will listen to a lot of things. But I feel like, again, like I said, it's a difficult conversation to have with people when they're like, oh, what sort of music are you into? And you're like, I'll listen to anything. Like I've just said, my top lineup is Enter Shikari and then 1975 and Harry Styles. Like, it's very conflicting, but it scratches a different itch.
Like, see, people get annoyed with when you say, oh, I'll listen to anything, but I think that's how it should be. And it's like, even I would listen to everything, like, even like R&B and that, even if I don't always go for it and reach for it, like countries, jazz, if it's on, I'm like, sick.
You can appreciate it. I think that's what it is. It's an appreciation for all genres, and I feel like as musicians as well, you sort of tend to have a bit more of an appreciation.
I said this to my bass teacher, like, it's over 10 years since I started learning bass, but I said to him, like, we're all doing the same thing. Why does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I feel like, even though I don't like, I've said the 2 bands that I've picked are pop bands, but I don't like conventional pop. Like, I won't put like Capital on, but I don't have anything against it. I can appreciate the songs that are being pumped out by record companies, and like I have seen Ed Sheeran live. I'm not a fan of him, but I can appreciate the work that he does and the music that he makes. Same as like Lewis Capaldi, Little Mix, Dua Lipa, all of your pop bands that an artist, not necessarily bands, but that are on mainstream radio, I don't dislike. They're all doing a job. They're all doing stuff they enjoy, and I envy that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But again, they're all making music. They're all doing what they want to do, and people like it. If they didn't have a following, it wouldn't be on the radio. So, just because you don't like that specific genre of music doesn't mean you should hate on it. Music is music at the end of the day. Even if it's just all synths and a drum, it's still something someone has had to produce and make. So I don't see why there's hate around it. Just be more open-minded and kind.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
While you were saying that, I thought of We're the In Crowd as a band, as a literal name. It'd just be Heather's Live.
Yeah. That is good. That is good.
Maybe that's because I'm on my Heather's high. But
even like musicals, like talking about music genres, I know, someone I work with is a big Swiftie, but she listens to a lot of musicals. That is still music. That's still a genre for me.
It's one of the top ones for me.
I do love musicals.
I like the drama of it.
Yeah. I mean, all my cats are named after Rocky Horror Picture Show actors or characters.
Yes.
So I love musicals. I do love them. What's your top lineup for
Dream lineup?
Yeah.
Ooh. Obviously McFly would have to be on it.
Of course.
They can go at the top. Gotta think capitalistic now as well. If McFly are first, there'll be people that leave before they're on.
Ah, yeah,
Sorry,
true.
McFly. You'll have to be the first ones on.
I didn't even think about that.
You didn't, but it's fine because you said 1975 last. I think people would stay for them.
Yeah.
After that, I want to say Niall. Niall Horan.
Can't say I've listened to much of his stuff, but from the bits I have heard, it's good.
It's funky.
Yeah.
Oh, very sweet. There's no in between.
Don't know if you found this, but I was listening to Harry Styles' first album and music from that. It sounds very One Direction-y. I don't know if that's the same with the other members, their first album that they produced post-breakup, but I think it still sounds very One Direction-y.
I don't like Liam's music, so I don't really listen to that.
Yeah.
Louis was the main writer, well, one of the main writers for One Direction, so his music is very One Direction.
It's gonna be, yeah.
But very sad One Direction. Niall, his first album is very acoustic.
Of course, because
that's what he knew he could do.
Yeah.
And Slow Hands was that little bit of a test to see if people would enjoy that, and they did, which is why he's gone for that direction with his newer ones. His is quite... He's got one song that he did for Smallfoot. The name has gone out my brain. Anyway, that's very Phil Collins, very Disney Phil Collins. I think that may have been his inspiration for it. But with Niall, I get like Fleetwood Mac, Bryan Adams.
That sort of like 80s,
because
early
that's
90s.
his inspiration as well, isn't it? But Harry, yeah, I think he played it safe at start and was like, this is what people like to listen to.
So we'll produce music.
Yeah, and then he was kind of like, oh, okay, people will like it if it's more me. And yeah, he just... Oh, excuse me.
There's been some weird, like, I would consider myself a bit of a conspiracy theorist. Just because I like believing that there's a conspiracy behind everything. I'm not stupid, I'm not a flat earther, I'm not that flat earthers are stupid, I don't want to annoy anyone.
I do. Sickos.
People have said that potentially Harry Styles' new album, if he is releasing one, if that is true, might be a little bit soft rocky, like Kiwi.
To be honest, I think that in Only Angel are some of his strongest songs.
I really like that.
I would love that.
Harry really likes Kiwi. Not Styles, my Harry. But no, I was reading up on it, and then people are saying wild stuff like, oh yeah, he's towards end of tour, he's been wearing a lot of dark colours. It could be a signification of it. I know there was something someone had said. The leather jacket he wore for an award show or something was supposed to be a teaser.
He is a lot more calculated than we give him credit for.
Yeah.
It seems a bit of a stretch, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Nah. I mean, whatever he produces, I feel like at this point it's gonna be decent. From Harry's House, it's a good album. He's set the bar high, but I feel like he's talented enough to be able to match it.
Yeah.
But I do love a good conspiracy theory.
That's a good one as well.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about conspiracy theories.
I hope it is more rocky, because I feel like people underestimate him as an artist.
They do, and he needs to have that bit, because Harry's House is very close to a fine line in sound.
Yeah.
So if he can turn it around and show what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like that theory. Ooh. Anyway.
We need to have an anyways counter.
Anyway. Take a shot every time we say anyway. You'll be dead. Anyway.
One more shot.
This is like, well, my headline is going to be 5 sauce.
Okay.
And this is like 5 sauce's inside joke of soon. Because whenever they get asked it, like when they're going to do something, they go, soon. And they made a big point about it being interviewed, and they just end up just going, soon. Anyway. 5 sauce are probably my 1975. They're like, they do go on and just play the songs, but they do make it, the background's theatrical, they have the things, and I'm really mad that I've seen a spoiler for this tour, because this tour that they're going to do, like, well, that they've just started, like, yesterday or something, is going to be a big one. And I think it's going to be the last one for a while.
I think I saw a TikTok whilst I was here, whilst we were just hanging about earlier, and there was a big red cube.
Yeah, they're doing a secret song.
A secret song, yeah. I'm not a fan of 5 sauce for context. Again, not that I dislike them. I just
not get into them.
Never really got into them. So I literally know nothing to bare minimum about them. So I just saw this big giant cube being thrown about with mystery song underneath it, and I'm like, okay, scroll.
I've seen Heartbreak Girl on it. What else did I see that was like really sad? I can't remember. But yeah, Michael, the guitarist, is going to be a dad, and Luke, the singer, is focusing on his solo stuff. So I think this is going to be the last 5 sauce for a while.
Yeah.
Which made me worried about being in the pit, but now that I've seen the dice, I'm like, I'm going to get in on that action. But again, like, I've seen Michael say, go into this tour blind, don't look at the set list.
Yeah.
It is not the tour that you want to know what's going to happen.
Yeah. You want to be surprised.
Yeah. And oh my god, I'm going to cry. I know it. But 5 sauce I don't listen to a lot. I'll have like the odd moment, and they've got Wherever You Are, which I look for a reason to talk about this. So it was the first song I listened to after we put Nemo down.
Yeah, I think
my first ever dog that I was very close to. He was like a wonder dog, you know, that you see in the movies. And, well, the whole, like, all the lyrics and that is like, I thought we'd always be together. I don't want to tell you I think about you all the time.
Yeah.
We'll be together again someday. So.
Very on brand for the moment. Yeah.
Not the best song to hear when you've just put your dog down. No. Ironically, the last song I heard on the way there was also 5 sauce. It was Girls Talk Boys, which is the song they did for Ghostbusters. It's a bit more funky. Anyway, both songs remind me of Nemo. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like listening to Girls Talk Boys. It's quite a situationship kind of song. It's what are we? Do you tell your friends that we're like together? Yeah, no, yeah. But But no, I caught up on music videos of Five Sauce. They got like very sad in their videos. But no, they're really good live.
Yeah.
I love seeing them live, and they're one of those bands I'd always want to see when they're touring.
Do they have a massive following, or is it not as big as people think?
Yeah, well, it's not the kind of crowd that you would think.
Okay.
I mean, obviously they're quite a TikTok-y band, and they're very heavily associated with One Direction. But they've got a lot more of an emo fan base, you would think.
I don't know why, but I was always under the impression that I knew they were big, but talking about putting like music channels on the TV and radio and stuff, I've never really heard them on it. So I assumed that they had a following, but not as big as like One Direction or other boy bands.
A bit bigger than like You Meet Six.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. And it's like that kind of band as well, I'd
big,
say.
But not viral. Yeah.
Somewhat viral. I mean, when they release a new song, it goes viral for a bit. But it's not a band that you see a lot of. No. But still very good.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've changed the sound a lot, and luckily not been called wash-ups. That's not a phrase, is it?
No. It's a new phrase. Sellouts?
Sellouts.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I was mixing up washed up. Sellouts. No. Even Weezer's been
fetch.
called them. It's fetch.
Do you like these?
But yeah, that would be my 3. McFly, Niall and Five Sauce.
Decent.
Yeah.
They're very similar.
They are very similar.
I feel like yours is good. I feel like half of the people that went to my lineup would leave halfway through. And be like, isn't it Shikari? Nah. You don't get many. Saying that though, I know a lot of Swifties that are actually like alternative people.
Yeah.
So who knows? A lot of 1975 people are alternative. From what I know. Maybe not Harry Styles.
Well, I have them as kind of like an ego band.
Yeah.
Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
Agreed.
We should talk about like cancelled quotation mark artists.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
What they were cancelled for, if it was worth being cancelled over.
Cancelled versus crimes, we could call it.
Yeah. Like actual genuine crime.
For example, Lost Profits.
Yes.
Crimes.
I mean, it's a weird one because I always struggle to separate artists from art, especially like Lost Profits. I used to like them, but I cannot remember one of their songs to pinpoint them now because of the fact that I'd stopped listening to them.
I long to hear Rooftops again because it was one of my favourite songs.
But then, like, I was listening to Falling in Reverse on the way here, and I'm like, I forget how much I love this band. They're such a good band. But then it's like Ronnie's had controversy. I don't know if I know he's been incarcerated for whatever reason. But does it warrant me not listening to them? Does it? I mean, Brendan Urie's. I saw a massive thread about him being a bit of a soul and racist as well. He said the N-word numerous times. And I loved Panic at the Disco, Phoebe Cats Were Out era. Woof. But again, it's sort of like pick and choosing artists to stop listening to. Like, I think it's a shame because the music is really, really good. But then I feel like if you continue to listen to an artist and actively enjoy them when they're being cancelled, people give you shit for it. I really like Rammstein, and they're under fire at the minute for allegations of someone being spiked at their show, but not by the band.
Right.
From what I can gather, I'm not 100% sure, so if it's any different, feel free to, if you've got like resources, please message us or anything. A woman they have this thing called Row Zero. They do pre and post parties. It is a bit weird because it's mainly women and they do get scouted. But it's a catch-22 of bands have always done this and bands have continued to do this and have not been under fire. So why are Rammstein getting under fire for it? It is creepy because girls are being scouted.
Is he called Till?
Yes.
They're trying to blame him for doing the drugging.
Yes. So from what I can gather is the woman was spiked and she had met Till, but she has confirmed that it was not Till.
But yet he was angry that she
turned
didn't
him
consent.
down.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's sort of like it's so messy because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't have an opinion on it because I don't know the facts. And I don't feel like it's right for me to say, well, I stand with them because they didn't spike her.
Yeah.
But then, they're pursuing legal action because it's technically defamation. But then she's come out and said, actually, it's not the band, but it's someone that's associated with the band potentially.
See, none of it makes sense to me. None of it.
I've seen that she wasn't actually spiked, that she's had blood tests done.
Right.
And that they've not picked up anything. I've seen people say that she's on SSRIs and drank a lot, which has interfered with it, which would explain why she's sort of blacked out. But I don't want to say the wrong thing and us get cancelled.
But as well, didn't she already say, like, at no point did she pass out?
I think so.
See, none of it makes sense.
No, it doesn't. It's very gappy, which again is why I don't want to form a solid opinion.
Yeah.
Because I don't want us to get cancelled. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Don't get me wrong. It's very... He could have done something to her. We don't have the solid proof.
No.
But we also don't have the solid proof that... And I don't want to victim blame because we're not like that. We're not like that.
We just don't know.
But it's so messy and I feel sort of guilty for still enjoying them. I mean, I've bought tickets to see Till's solo stuff in December, and at this minute in time I'm still going because I still enjoy the music, I still enjoy him as an artist. But where do you draw the line? If it does come out that
it was him,
he has done something, then I would consider.
Yeah.
If he doesn't cancel the tour, I would consider potentially not going, selling my tickets on, whatever. But it's so difficult because you compare it to All Time Low, who have had allegations made against them, and
over
I don't
100.
think anything's come of it.
They're even featured in Busted's reimagining of Crash the Wedding.
No legal altercations has come to them.
No career.
But when there's hundreds of people coming out saying the same thing, it's really difficult. And I've seen people on Reddit say that other people have come out and said stuff against Rammstein and Till. But I've not read into it so far as to say, oh, actually, this is bad. So it's very messy. It's difficult to comment on as people in media. Like I said, I don't want us to get cancelled. I don't want to say the wrong thing and people get the wrong impression of what we think.
Yeah.
But it is very messy, and if it comes out that it was true, then obviously I'm not going to go see them. I'm not going to support them as an artist anymore because that's the wrong thing to do. But it's at the minute in time, it's a very grey area.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Because like Ian Watkins, like,
I was reading on stuff that he'd actually done.
Yeah.
I saw a TikTok
Lost Profits
recently.
I stopped listening to straight away. I was heartbroken. And now I've seen what he's actually done.
Yeah, like, because we were so young when it happened as well, weren't we? I'd not actually read into what he had done. I just knew it was paedophilia. I know that he'd done something around that, but I didn't know the extent to it until recently. Harry showed me the TikTok, and it was a guy, and he was listing through the stuff that he'd done, the stuff that he'd been found with, and I was like, oh my god, that is, obviously paedophilia is bad, don't get me wrong, but that was, it made me feel sick. Like,
yeah, so I've not listened to him like since he first got arrested.
Yeah.
When I was younger, it must have been 10 years this year.
Yeah.
Jesus. Because I remember it coming out on my way home from school. And I was like, this can't be true, whatever. But I was just that heartbroken that it's happened, that I've not listened to them. Yeah. And now I've read what's happened, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Excuse the language. I mean, maybe not, because
it's warranted.
It's warranted.
It is.
And he was a sick man.
Yeah.
And now with All Time Low, they were one of my absolute all-time favourites. and I'm so heartbroken now that I can't listen to them. And the fact that they've not even had, like, the career damaged at all.
Yeah, no statements have been made as far as I'm aware. It's difficult. Again, it's where do you draw the line of enjoying an artist and their music but not supporting them because they're literal paedophiles or criminals?
I know a couple of people that all time low is like their McFly. And I'm like, are you aware of the allegations? And now you're just like, it hurts too much that you just pretend it's not happening.
But then, flip side, how do we feel about bands that have had accusations made against them and done something about it? For example, Pierce the Veil. They were one of my, if not the biggest comfort band for me as a teen. I absolutely adore them. I've got back into them again with the new album, and it's just very bittersweet, nostalgic memories of being a teen and listening to them, and really emo stuff, guys. But then, obviously, the stuff with Vic's brother, the drummer, he had allegations made against him, there was receipts, and they kicked him out of the band. And as far as I am aware, obviously Vic being a dad now, I don't think they have anything to do with each other. So people will say, how did he not know? How did they not know as a band that stuff was going on? But people can behave.
Have you listened to Sean Smith's podcast?
I haven't, no.
Sean Smith, another controversial figure.
Yes.
I forgot his name now. Well, one of the lads in Lost Prophets was on that.
I think I remember saying,
and talked about it, and he was like, none of us knew. We knew he was on drugs. We like tried to do his best with that.
The thing is with people like that, they're good at what they do in the most horrific, heartbreaking way. Like, people can behave for short periods of time, and Harry said this phrase to me recently, and it put things into perspective, and it goes on to you, like, apply it to how can people like someone that's so horrible, because people can put on a face and people can behave in social situations for short periods of time, and that's why then when people get close to them months down the line, they start showing the true colours, and that's when issues happen.
I mean, it's like that narcissist that I lived with.
Yeah.
All letting agents were like, well, you used to be friends, and it's like, well, yeah, because he manipulated me into being friends with him.
People can behave in situations and circumstances that they need to.
He was put in a situation where there was all people in a kitchen that he had a different personality with.
Yeah.
And you just saw the panic in his face.
Yeah. But no, I think I think that might be next time.
Yeah.
We can do some reading if we set some, like, a handful of controversial bands, whatever it is that they've been cancelled for. Yes. And any media and sort of like papers on it as well, if there's any like reports, threads even on Twitter, Reddit, anything like that has sources. It's very important that there is like direct sources as well for stuff, because we don't want to be spouting stuff that isn't true.
No.
But any resources of controversial bands that have been cancelled, criminals, whatever, we would love to do reading on, and then do that as a discussion, because again, it's the same question: where do you draw the line?
It is. And maybe we can read some articles on like other people that have talked about separating out from artists.
Yeah.
I mean, like Morrissey. Where do you separate it? For me, I just don't give him money.
Yeah.
I'll listen to his things, buy him second hand.
Yeah,
I really wanted to see him last week. You were in Leeds last week. I really wanted to go. But
the controversy with Spotify as well might be a good one to tie in, because
not paying
even though you are technically giving money by having a subscription and listening to the bands that are controversial, they don't get, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of money from that.
They don't.
But I think that's a really good. That's a good idea.
It's like half a penny for every 10,000 listens. It's not good.
No.
I can't think of anything else to say.
No.
So enjoy Glitches for 10.
Hello, I'm here with Glitches now. Do you want to say hello?
Hello!
Hi! So welcome to the Book Tunes podcast. where we talk about live music and culture, and you guys do it in a very different way. So, do you want to tell us a bit about you guys?
Yeah, we're that punk band that turn up outside everywhere while you're shopping and when you're leaving a gig, mostly. Just, yeah. Just anything?
Yeah, we just kind of do everything on the streets. Quite a new idea, I think. I haven't seen anyone else do it yet, other than like normal buskers, but like a full band. So yeah, that's
touring.
Pretty much Glitches, just a street punk band.
Never ending.
Never ending street punk band.
And how did that come about?
I'd got bored of like starting bands over and over again, and you got to have friends to get into slots and stuff to sell tickets. And then COVID hit, and we were all stuck inside. So I taught Sophie to play drums, and then they said, "Oh, shops are open, but nothing else is." And I was like, "Well, why don't we just play outside?" I was like, "If I jump around enough, people will keep away. 2 meter distance, we're fine." And that's literally how it happened. We didn't turn back, really, have we?
Yeah, and like where we sort of grew up, all the venues are shutting, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
And there's like none. There's no venues back where we grew up now. So like to conquer that, just play outside.
Yeah. Make new fans every day.
Yeah. Where is it you come from?
Norfolk.
Ah, it's a long way then.
Yeah, we've moved to Lincolnshire now,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit of a less of a drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we lived there the first 2 years, blimey, every weekend was like a 4-hour drive just to get started.
Yeah.
Mad.
And with the risk of sounding a bit silly here, how does it work playing outside? How do you plug in the amps and all that?
Just a caravan battery and then an inverter, and that just runs that. I did try in the very first beginning bits, like using one of those microphones with a portable speaker, but it just never got louder than a megaphone, did it? The megaphone just kind of boomed, and it adds like that green edge to it. So
Drums easy, you just hit
Yeah.
things. There's no electrics.
Yeah.
simplifies the drum kit.
Perks of being a drummer, there's no electrics to
Yeah.
go wrong.
Just more stuff.
And what is the goal of Glitches?
We honestly have no idea. I think everyone's goal is just to be able to make a living.
Yeah.
It'd be nice that we could make a living for us and our crew to be, this is our jobs. We just go play music and then be able to do stuff with it, be able to have a voice in things, and who knows, really.
We'll try thinking of what our goal would be, and we're not sure.
Yeah, we just go out and play each week and go, what is the goal?
Yeah, we just like doing it. I think it's just we just enjoy doing it so much that we haven't really thought of a goal.
No.
We're just kind of living and enjoying it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely what this year is all about. Like, filming it as a documentary means that we can just enjoy it. We haven't got to worry about writing an album or do anything like that. We can just tour and have fun. And now we've got 2 roadies out with us. We don't have to lift as much shit, so we're not as tired. Doing 3 gigs a day now instead of 2, so smashing it.
I mean, in a way, you want to make it more accessible, don't you, with having just donations, really, rather than set prices.
Yeah, that was my anti-capitalist kind of thing of, everyone's trying to rip each other off. Fuck that, let's just spin it on its head and let the fans pay what they want. If people appreciate the art and they understand the costs and stuff of touring, then they'll donate more. But we've also had people being like, I really want to come to a gig, but I've only got 50p, so put it in and come in then. We were all in that same position at some point where you want to go out but you can't afford it.
Yeah, we grew up with not really a lot of money, didn't we? So going to gigs, you couldn't really go, or if you did, you couldn't get merch, or
it was one or the other.
Yeah, it's so expensive. So really, you can just come. You could come to one of our gigs really for 10p and buy a shirt for £1.
Yeah, exactly. We make it all ourselves, so it's nice and easy.
Yeah.
You do a mix of indoor and outdoor shows, but how do they compare to each other?
The outdoor ones are more chaotic in a way because anything can happen. Like when you're on the streets, sometimes it's not even security you have to worry about. It's just some randomer that's pissed off. The inside gigs are a lot of fun though, because we can put on more of a show, and they're a whole set rather than just 4 or 5 songs, so we can fully get into it. And you get a microphone then.
I get a microphone, yeah, and also being inside is really hot, whereas when you're outside you've got the nice breeze, you've got cold weather, but when you're inside it's sweat, and that's it. It's just so sweaty. And we're just not used to sound checks and stuff.
Oh no, sound check, and then you play in 3 hours time. It's normally we get on the streets and go, amp loud enough? Yeah, all right, let's go.
Which do you prefer?
I don't know. I've now grown to like being back inside. I love being outside, but I do really enjoy being inside. But then you prefer inside.
I think I prefer inside because I feel safer. Especially as a female, I get a lot of creeps. So inside, I know I'm safe. I've got like a nice cushy protection, and like,
Yeah, no one's gonna come up behind you, are they?
yeah, like no guy's gonna come up behind me and try and give me a kiss. It's gross.
Yeah.
So, I think that's why, but I do prefer outside because I think it's just funny seeing everyone's reactions as well.
Oh yeah, like the best. If we had to pick like the best gig, it'd definitely be like the outside after parties. Nothing compares to it, does it? Really?
No, definitely.
And who are some of your influences?
My main ones, Every Time I Die. They're like my upbeat hardcore band.
I've never heard of them.
Can you? Oh no, well they're split up now.
Oh.
Yeah,
Worst
they
day of
broke
my
up like a year ago.
life.
It looked like his whole world had fallen apart.
I know how that feels.
Yeah.
Straight from the Path. Have you heard of them? No, another hardcore band.
See, I
Neither
think
have I.
myself hardcore, and then I don't know any bands, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nirvana. Yeah, a lot.
Oh,
of
I know
Nirvana.
them.
Yeah. Name 3 songs. No, I'm joking.
Our playlist is that plus like My Chemical Romance, The Used, and then the Beatles, and that's about it really, isn't it?
Harry Styles.
Harry Styles.
I love
Yeah.
Harry Styles.
Yeah, king. But like musically, yeah, definitely. Like Every Time I Die is a big influence.
Yeah.
Huge. Yeah. Yes.
So what's some of your best and worst experiences with playing?
Ooh.
I think best has to be the My Chemical Romance tour.
Yeah.
I think my favourite night was actually Warrington, although the lift was absolutely horrible. We had to lift the gear like
Yeah.
nearly a mile because they'd blocked
Oh.
off all the roads, and there was only 4 of us. And
We had to do it in one run.
yeah, by the time we got there, people were leaving, so there was no time to stop and rest. It was like, get it on and play. But that was an incredible night, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There was just something magical about crowd surfing outside those
Can't relate. Drummers don't get crowds.
nights. Go on, you do the worst gig. What was the worst gig for you?
I have a few. I think my ultimate worst one I can think of is my first ever street gig was in Peterborough, and a guy came up to me and was shouting at me, and I was just new to this, so this is like my first ever gig. I'd never really done this, and his dog started attacking me mid gig, like literally from behind, like trying to bite me, and I was like, ah! I was like, Jake, and he had no idea what was going on, and at the end of the gig I was like, Jake, a dog attacked me, and he was like, what? So that's got to be one of my worst
Oh,
ones,
no.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you're still doing it, if I'm honest.
I've had a lot of weird experiences. Yeah, I've had like men breathing down my neck and like all sorts of weird stuff, and I'm still here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're still cracking.
Yeah,
It's a good thing too.
yeah. I'm glad.
What would your advice be to aspiring artists?
Play outside. That is all I ever say.
Yeah.
They're like, how do you grow this fast? How do you,
Yeah.
do it? I'm like, just play outside. Venues are like shutting down, and we have to get people enthused about music again. Like, we're not playing outside, because we don't need the venues. The idea is that we play outside. People that haven't been to gigs in years are now like, oh, yeah, I'll go see that band, and then it brings them back into the scene. We want these venues full again, not the opposite. But I think to get there, it's just a different way of doing it. If we keep playing the same venues to the same people, it's not going to grow. We've got to find something wow again. You know.
It's a good selling point, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
and it's easy
So
to
to
do.
speak.
Yeah, and financially it works.
Yeah.
If you're living at home with parents, it would work even better. You don't have bills to pay, but
Yeah.
you can make enough just playing on the streets.
Yeah.
I think that's what my advice would be is to like, if you're not already playing an instrument, don't pick up an instrument and think you're going to be good
Oh
straight
yeah.
away. Because
That's
everyone makes that
advice.
mistake. Like I do. I'm like, I'm going to paint something. I'm like, I'm expecting to be Picasso straight away, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So like, just practice and practice and practice.
Yeah.
You're not going to be good at start. Like I was awful. You were awful.
Oh yeah.
Your mum
yeah.
tells me horror stories about you learning guitar. So yeah, just like keep going at it if you don't already play an instrument, because we're all bad at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially us. We were awful.
So, on our podcast, we have a segment where we interview the public about the soundtracks to their life,
Yeah.
which is the music that means most to them. If you had to pick a song for the soundtrack of your life, what would it be and why?
Cool, when you go.
Oh, I've never thought of this before. I'm like, my mind's just gone blank of what music do I listen to? I think no doubt Just a Girl. I think just because it's very much like I'm not just a girl. I'm this cool person, and like I think that's the soundtrack to my life. Like
That's a good
take
one.
this pink ribbon off my eyes. I love it. I just love it. When I'm
a good
listening
one.
to that, I'm like, yes, I can do anything.
I have no idea. Can I be cringy and pick my own?
Go on then.
Firework by Us. That was my like soundtrack to my life.
I suppose you have a
pissed off.
benefit if you can write your own
Oh
song.
yeah. That was my. Everyone said don't do this, and I was like, I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
and here I am.
Good.
Yeah.
And as last question is, we also have a little silly thing where we have an artist of the month, and every month we sort of say who would win in a fight this month or last month.
Yeah.
So who do you think would win in a fight, Enter Shikari or Muse?
Oh. I think it'd be in the Shikari.
So you think, Dev, it depends how long they have before the fight, because Muse could make some incredible
Yeah, but
weapons.
the Shikari are at a advantage because they're younger.
And they got more members.
Yeah.
But is it fan armies? You got
Who's
the
involved in
mutant
it?
zombie armies attacking. No, I think Shikari would.
I think
reverse.
Shikari would win. I think Raoul's got this evil side of him.
Oh yeah.
He's not guns blazing, like fists swinging. He grew up in the hardcore scene. He's thrown some fists. He's crowd killed.
Yeah.
This is easy. I think it's definitely in the Shikari.
Yeah.
And who would win, Enter Shikari or Glitches?
Oh, Shikari. I'm a pacifist. Sophie's on her own.
I'm feisty, but not feisty enough to take on the whole of Enter Shikari.
Just throw the kit at them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Symbols like frisbees. And now I'm talking about like taking off their heads or something.
Yeah.
Gosh.
You've won. You've
Some
won.
Scott Pilgrim there.
I think we come to a truce.
Yeah.
Truce. Do you want to promote anything while we're here?
Just find where we're playing on the tour in the summer. Come down, make a bit of a scene with us, and yeah, just about it really. Just party time.
Yeah, the whole summer tour basically.
Yeah, that's
it's
it.
all
Really.
on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We don't use Twitter as much.
TikTok, I can be bothered to post on there.
Yeah. Instagram. Instagram's the best one.
Yeah,
That's just
WhatsApp.
banned. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
And that was Glitches.
Woo! Thank you, Glitches.
Thank you so much. You guys were lovely. Really made my day. It was just so lucky. So I interviewed them the same day as I saw McFly, because they're doing the tour at the minute.
Yeah.
Check it out, and if they're near you, please go listen to them. I didn't have time to listen to them because I had another place to be. But it just happened that it fell on the same day as McFly, and I was like, this is perfect, because we've been trying to plan it for over a year now. And they apologised. They were like, this was a long time coming, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's fine, because the podcast didn't even end up starting when we planned to, which was like this time last year.
Yeah.
So,
I wonder where
Thank
our
you,
year
then.
anniversary is.
our year anniversary
Yeah.
for the podcast. It'll be January.
I'll have to do a special episode.
We will. A little bit. Or maybe even February. Because we did February and we did 2 months in one, but did we do it like right at the start of February or what? I'll have to look back.
We'll see. We'll see.
This birthday.
Yes.
Anyway, hopefully. Oh my god, I didn't even say congratulations to Kathy. Our Kathy got married this month.
Yes, she did.
And that's why there's been no Kathy show, because she's been on her honeymoon. Yeah, it was a lovely day. The day after McFly. And yes, so hopefully next month, because we've got no gigs lined up,
Yes.
to try and save it from being depressing, talking about cancel culture and all that. Hopefully it will mostly be the Kathy show. We miss her. If not, she'll definitely be back September, because I understand a lot of people in her circle are like parents and that, so
Yeah.
summer holidays are here, so I understand if she can't get that routine together again until September. But someday, very soon, she'll be back.
Yes.
Alright, and thank you for listening. Thank you, Tiegan.
Thank you.
And have a good August.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.